Welcome, welcome to stretch and restore and flexibility. Okay, so we're going to start off on the wall. We're going to begin bringing the hands shoulder distance on the wall. You can keep the mats as they are because we're not using the entire wall for the entire hour. So, oh, not yet. I'll bring them. So the top of your fingers aligned with your arms, with your shoulders. And then we're going to walk the little legs back, creating a first down dog against the wall. So as you look at your feet, let the feet separate about hip distance, and then you can walk your hands down because you want the shoulders broadening and you want the ears aligned with the inner arms. Press through the fingertips. Press through the mounds of the big toes. And the moment you start pressing through the mound of the big toes, you start to rotate your thighs slightly inward. So it gives your sacrum a little space. See if you can take the next 4 to 5 breaths with a lot of control. So inhaling slowly, maybe to the count of 5. Holding when you count to 5, holding the top of that inhale. And then opening the mouth and exhaling to the count of 5. Few more breaths like that. Nice stretch for the back body, for the shoulders, for the arms, for the legs. Take another inhale. Retain. Open your mouth as you exhale and come up closer to the wall. Good. Shake your arms out for a little bit. You should have felt that more along the sides of the body. Let me make sure that I can move my thing out. A couple more little things to do with the wall. He's sweating from the... Okay, so we're going to take now the right arm, and we're going to place the right arm against the wall. And then our bodies are going to be away from the bottom, about a foot or so. And then you're going to try to see if you can get your elbow on the wall. And then when your elbow comes along the wall, you're going to get as much of your side of the shoulder on the wall. I don't know that you can see my body here. Sorry. Yeah, so just stretching out different parts of the shoulder. Soften your inside leg a little bit if it feels that you can go deeper. You do that. Come out of that. And we'll do the same thing to the other side. So about a foot away from the wall, your elbow comes up. Then you soften that inside leg so that you start to relax and more of that lower shoulder comes close to the wall. These are all little tools that are great to help you with your posture, to help you unround your shoulders, to help you breathe better. Good. So just relax the breath, right? Relax the breath. Try to breathe with control so that the breath becomes a little slower on the inhale and the exhale. Yeah, and then come out. One more thing before we go to our mats. So you should feel like your shoulders are a little loose. Bring your booty to the wall. Separate your feet from the wall about a foot. Soften the knees. Separate them so that you feel like they're comfortable. So if you're very tight, you might have to separate the legs wider. And then bend the knees so you almost feel like your belly is touching your thighs or your inner thighs for some of you. And then hang as you grab your elbows. Now that your shoulders are loose, you might feel like you can grab your elbows better. This is ragdoll, but it's supported. It's a supported ragdoll because you're using the wall to help you stay up. Relax your jaw. Lengthen the toes. Relax the shoulders and the arms. And then relax the rib cage, the belly, the hips. The more you soften the knees here, the more you're going to get into the hips. And if you suffer from hip discomfort, although it might feel a little uncomfortable now, it helps you in the end. Okay, take about a minute or so with your arms totally relaxed. Don't even grab onto the elbows now. Soften the arms down. If it feels good, lengthen the knees. That's not for everybody. And then with your knees long, bring awareness to the crown of the head. Let the crown of the head feel like it's all the way close to the floor. And then we're going to start to ragdoll all the way up. But to come up, you have to soften the knees so you don't hurt your back. So come up slowly. Head rush. All right, shoulders up and back. Come to your mat. I'm going to give you your little bolster now. And we're going to do our nice little proposal stretch first.
I've been eyeing that.
Oh, goodness. You're so silly. This is for you, lovey. Oh, thank you, Jan. And Shelly. Just put a towel over it. Here you go. Okay, so get your bolster along the middle of the mat, long-wise. If you're at home and you don't have a bolster, get your couch cushion, or anything like that, pillow. Keep your blocks handy as always and your strap handy. Thank you, baby. We have towels, by the way, if you want to use any towels. We have little towels down there. Okay, so knee over the bolster, please. Blocks framing the front right foot. Right foot walks to the right. And the purpose of this bolster being there to support your knee is so that you can surrender into that left hip. Yes, so slide more, just slide more forward. Slide that leg, no, back. Yeah, she's just not as open in the hip as you are, but there you are. That's great. That's great. Good. Now walk your right foot more to the right and bring your blocks now to the inside. Okay? Okay. And then let your toe box open to the right. Stay on your hands for the first 30 seconds or so, and then we're going to go deeper. Great opener for that left hip. That's kind of more the primary stretch. And then the right outer hip is the secondary stretch. We're going to change that in a moment where We're going to bring a little more awareness to that right outer hip. So if you're home, you can do that even with a little seat or stool in front of you. If you have one of those little stools that you step on for stuff. Okay, take your right foot now and see if you can come off the sole of the foot onto the blade. And then organize it so it feels good. And then maybe, just maybe, you can come off your hands and bring your forearms on the blocks. You might have to, maybe those forearms on the blocks is too much of a stretch for you. You have to have the blocks higher. Like you might be able to do it with the blocks up higher. Put your forearm. Well, not if you do it like this. Put your forearm on there. Your forearm. Yeah. No. No. Yes. Lift your forearm a second. You're like, Jeanette, can you please explain better there? So that you're more, yeah, so that you're more, it's harder to mess it up like that. Now, if you face plant, I'm sorry. Good. How does that hip feel, Scott? You should feel it right now on that right outer hip. And the inner thigh. Usually you'll feel it wherever you're the tightest, wherever you're the most limited. And because you cycle so much, that's probably why. So just kind of settle in just a little bit longer. Now we're going to go to the next step. I want to make sure that I get you even before you leave. No, I don't want you to walk around in circles. Okay, take another breath. And then come out. Okay, same right little leg. Pull it right in. Send your legs straight back. If it feels good to you, I'm still with my knee here. I'm gonna give you a few options. My right leg is stretched. Now I'm trying to work through the back of the right leg. Here's a nice option. I could move the bolster so that now my leg is straight, but I'm sitting on the bolster. So when I sit on the bolster, it just softens the stretch, but it does give you another stretch through the left leg. Not the splits. Not the splits. Not the splits. Not the splits. Yeah, not yet, but you will be. You will. You can go there. And then you can sit back on your, yeah, so bend this left leg a little bit more. Okay, so lean forward just a little bit. Straighten out that right leg. Allow those right toes to be active, not just hanging. Be active. Okay, keep the legs just upright, the torso. And if you are doing this version, that is the first version, the second version, lean back from there. And the nice thing about this is if you're here, you can lean all the way back. You can even scoot the bolster down and then pull that left calf out of the way and lean into your bolster, right? So then you create almost like a half hero pose with the left leg, making sure your left toenails press down, and then the right leg is straight. You can take your arms wide. If this is too much for you, or you're doing the first version, I can still be, and I'm going to show you what the first version was like. The first version, we were here like this. You could still be here like that. Few more breaths, and we'll do the second side. Good, so you should feel like your whole front body is opening up. Come up slowly. And then let's go ahead and do the second side. So we did down dog on the wall. Let's take a down dog off the wall on the floor and we do the second side. So this is just to neutralize. Tabletop, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and then lift your hips, lift your knees, and see if you can get that sensation of a nice long spine like you did using the wall here. Take your time, and when you're ready, you'll step the left foot forward. Am I right? Okay. Then the block or the bolster comes on the right leg. Yeah. Take your time. If you have to do your down dog, if you have to stay there a little longer, that's okay. So start off with just the knee pointing down on the bolster. Shift forward so that you get your right hip to open up. Get comfortable and then walk your left foot out to the left, open it up a little bit and bring your blocks to the inside of you. Stay on your hands for a few moments. So we stay like this for about half a minute to a minute, and then we go into the outer blade of the foot. So to go further, go to the outer blade of the left foot. Your toe box opens to the left. And then you see if you can go closer to the floor, maybe forearms on your block or your stool. And then breathe into the stretch. So you let the body surrender. If you hold your breath or you breathe fast and shallow, you hold a lot of tension. Relax the jaw, even a subtle little relaxation of the jaw. Really kind of invites the relaxation throughout the whole body. What happens if you go to the outer blade? Does that bother your knee? Does this bother your knee? No? It's the other one. Did you do it on the other side? And it felt okay? Good. Take another 5 breaths or so. Yeah, you can go all the way down, Dale, if you want, all the way to the floor. Put your block under your chest if you want. Just about 2 more breaths or so, but the yin version of this pose, well, it doesn't have a bolster, but it has your chest like this all the way on the floor. And your leg is up there like a, what do you look like, a grasshopper or something, right? They call this lizard though, but it doesn't look like a lizard to me. Okay, so come out. Now we're going to stretch that same leg that's been bent for over 2 minutes. Okay, so remember, you could just say, hey, I'm going to stay like this. My hands are going to go on the blocks and my right knee is going to bend as I am. And I'm going to keep my left leg straight. And this might be where you need to stay. You're going to see where you're at, because if you have an issue with your right knee, you might not be able to go any deeper than this as far as bending the right knee. So this is one opportunity. Your second opportunity is to bring the bolster to the side. Do your best, even if it doesn't look pretty, to sit. But then it requires that this knee bends more, which is healthy for the knee, but it has to feel right for you. Good. Upright your torso first. We lean forward for a few moments, and then we'll do the same thing, leaning back. Mm-hmm. If the bolster seems like it's too low for you, put a block over the bolster. Yep. Try that. Better? So no, so actually you're going to move that knee forward more. So this knee comes in forward more. Yes, yes. Uh-huh. And then relax this foot and lean back. I have an extra bolster. I wonder if it'll feel better. Hold on. Good. Okay. That looks good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good. Now lean back. See how you lean back. Can you not put your foot down like this? See if you're able. From all the running years. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Does that feel okay? All those sprinting years. Yeah. So what's neat is if you do want to lean back, actually you can stay, that's good. Or you can slide the block so your booty is not on the bolster. Your booty's on the floor, but it doesn't intensify the knee stretch over here. I wonder how that'll feel. Tell me how it feels different. Like move the bolster. Yeah. See if that's, how does that feel? Nice. Uh-huh. You get a lot more bang for your buck when you're leaning back because you're stretching the whole torso area. Nice. Take another breath, or 2 or 3, wherever you are. And then we will start to come up and lengthen the legs forward. And then for those of us that were not able to lean back and open the chest, this is going to feel good. You're going to put the bolster sideways. Keep your blocks handy, everything kind of handy. And then take your the area of the chest that's behind you on the bolster and try to drape the shoulders over the bolster. You might have to start off with your knees up. You can reach your arms wide. Your head needs to touch the floor or needs to be supported. So depending on your height, you might have the bolster closer to the low back because it depends on your, your torso length. Good. Now, if you want more, you can reach for opposite elbows while you're up there. And then if you want even more, you can lengthen your legs. It's just a way to open up your front body, especially because some of you were not able to lean back. these are all suggestions. So as you get into it, if you feel like, my body can't do that or doesn't feel good doing that, then you don't do it. So this is what you can call this a passive stretch, because we're just letting gravity help us here. We're using props to help gravity in assisting us to further our stretch. This is a great stretch to help you through the intercostal muscles that wrap around your ribs. And it's actually rare that you are at home and you stretch, doing any type of movement, stretch with your arms like this, creating space through your ribs. We usually compress the torso. We never elongate it like this. Okay, so slowly coming up. Ooh. We're going to keep our bolster friendly. We're going to sit on it now, and we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, knees apart. And then the idea with this is not to round the back, but to lengthen the back and see, as we lengthen it, how much forward we can lean. So you can actually grab your feet and open your feet apart like you're opening a book, right? So you can grab your hands and open your feet, bringing the edges of your feet together, opening the book like it's opening the feet like it's a book. And that takes your knees and opens them outward. And then when you open the knees outward, you're able to lean forward from the hips more. And some of you are really limber in this department, not just because of the muscular flexibility, but your ball and socket in your hips usually guides you into deeper stretches. Not everybody's able to do the stretches, not just because of the muscular pliability, but some of the skeletal limitations that we have might never give us the opportunity to lean all the way forward. So just keep a long spine. Take about another 3 to 5 breaths here. And keep inviting your knees out to the sides. And if it's very tender for you too, you can double up the mat. You can make the mat a little bit cushier too. Like if you feel like, ooh, my feet hurt. Yeah. And you have bony little feet. I see it. Ouch. Yeah, your foot is like, yes. And a lot of times you think, oh, I gotta bring my knees down. Don't think I gotta bring my knees down. Think I'm gonna bring my knees out. A teacher guided me into that one time and I was like, oh. And the moment I thought my knees are moving out instead of down, I was like, and I lowered more. Yes, come up. Extend the legs. Okay. Take yourself into pigeon. I want to do pigeon on each side before you go. Then we're going to go to our strappy stuff. So here's how we're going to do for pigeon. See if you're able to do pigeon like this and maybe put the bolster one of two ways. You can put the bolster with the towel, because this bolster is a little dusty sometimes, here to hold your body weight up and support you. Or some of you, if your right hip is really high off the floor, you can wedge your bolster under your bum. Okay? And then if you had it here in front of you, you can hug your bolster in. Let the prop help you surrender into pigeon. You want to put your little cheek on it like that? Which leg? Yeah, there you go. Do that. Yes. How does that feel? That's good. And then you can put these guys there just to see if this will feel good, to either put your chest here or put your forearms there. Because the whole idea is you don't want to hold too much pressure on your shoulders. Let me see how this. Yeah, you're impressively stretchy. Good? No, it doesn't matter. Okay. So keep the pigeon legs and see how it feels for you to put that bolster under your right cheek. Might be too high, but. And then you're either going to bring the blocks in front of you like this, or you're going to take that little strap loop and loop it behind you like this. If your booty is really close to the ground, your right booty cheek, the bolster actually gets in the way. But if it's not, then you might just bring your hands in front of you. And it's the same little pigeon pose. It's just creating more opening through the front body. And if you have the strap, creating a little opening through the arms and the shoulders. Try to keep your 5 toenails of the back foot pressing down. So I'm going to wedge this here and you're going to see. And then keep this little foot back and see how that feels. And then see if you can upright your torso. Yes. Lean into, yes, lean into that little bolster. Stretchy. Good. Come out of it. So if you had the strap, release it. Take your legs forward. That was intense. Shake your little legs out. Okay. And then we'll do the left leg. So your legs are different. Just know that you have your props. Okay. If your left glute is almost to the floor, you might not need more than a towel here of that. So you can use the bolster in front of you. Just make sure your back knee points down, your back heel points up. and you try to create a square pelvis approach. Better. Put your little bolster, hands on your arms on the bolster. See how that should feel really good, actually. Does that feel good? Now, see how your foot is underneath you? Little by little, you want your foot on the other side of you. Yeah, so you want to eventually move. And that comes with time. Relax your jaw. If it feels like you're too committed into it, you can come out of it a little bit. Let your breath be the guide. If you feel like your breath is uninterrupted, you're probably in a good place. If you feel like your breath is sporadic or intermittent and you're holding your breath and then you're grabbing your breath, then come out of it. And then keep in mind, if your foot ever falls asleep, move it around, come out of it, come back into it. Don't feel like you have to adhere with staying in one particular position forever and a day. Okay, we will transition onto that upright position, right? So same legs, upright. And if you go upright like this and you're like, ouch, I don't feel comfortable, then relax and go back down. Okay, if you want to go upright, you can put hands on bolster, on blocks, or grab your little strap, grab a hold of the foot with a strap. And then the idea is to try to bring both arms up eventually. Just make sure your back foot presses down, because the more you press that back foot down and you feel that anchor, then the more you're able to kind of blossom in the front. Good. Release it. Bring the legs out, and we're gonna sit on the bolster now, but we're gonna lay on our back. So just make sure you have everything handy. Blocks off to the side, strap handy, and then bring your bolster or your cushion with you and sit on it. Yeah. Yes. So now all we're gonna do is hang here. The hips lift up. They support, the bolster supports, cradles your sacrum nicely. Relax your feet for a moment and your knees. Let all that blood flow come back, neutralize. we're going to give our little shoulders a different type of stretch. We call this the eagle wrap stretch. So you can start off with feet flat if you want, just so that you can feel there's a good integration of the core, and then take your arms up. All right, take your thumbs and point them down, and then take your right elbow over the left elbow. And then where they cross, you're able to then spiral the forearms so that perhaps the palms can meet. And then you can bring your elbows either aligned with your nose, with your forehead, or below your nose if it feels better. And then if you're able to, and you want to, you can go further. Okay, so your feet are flat, your knees are bent. Bring your right foot in and cross your left thigh over your right thigh. Take a little variation of an eagle. And unravel the arms now and bring the legs up. And then now you're going to grab your left knee with your right hand and your right knee with your left hand, and pull the knees in, or maybe slide your hands down a little bit and start to pull the ankles in or the feet in. You can pull the legs up for a moment and then pull them back down. Just kind of explore. Flex your feet. The more the legs come up towards your head, the more stretchy you get. There's nothing. You just look so flexible. You make it look so easy. You can put your toe in your ear, it looks like. Yeah, so it's like they look like bicycle handlebars. Good, and then release the legs, release the arms, maybe even open the arms wide and relax everything down again. This is like a little starfish stretch. Good, so let's go feet flat. Left arm crosses over the right arm, and when the elbows connect, you then spiral the forearms so that you can bring these hands together. And then you kind of explore. Do your elbows want to come up a little bit? They want to come down. And then you're going to take the right thigh over the left thigh. Good, release the arms. Pull the legs up. Take the left hand and grab the right knee. Take the right hand and grab the left knee. And then pull the knees in. And if you want, you can slide the hands down the leg towards the ankles or the feet. Thank you, Scott. Have a great one. Take your next inhale. Good. Unravel those legs as you exhale. Lengthen the legs up for a moment. Maybe roll the ankles. And then in the opposite direction. Then use your arms and roll the wrists. Maybe in the opposite direction. Good. Feet down, come up. Whether you want to come up, roll to your side, or you can lift, move that little bolster out of the way, and then come up to your side. We're going to do a really nice, we call this the divine twist. Keep your bolster close to you, like on the corner like that, because you probably might want to use it. You don't need your blocks, so you can move your blocks off to the side. Open the knees and the feet, let the feet be as wide as the widest part of the mat or even wider. And then let's go ahead and windshield wipe the legs before we move into the divine twist. So just windshield wipe the legs. The knees are bent and you windshield wipe left and right, right and left. Good. The next time the knees wipe to the right, upright your torso and then rotate as much as you can to the back, as much as you can. Now your bolster's handy. So bring your little bolster close and then try to bring your belly button and your chest on the bolster. You don't have to put your face on it. You can relax your head down. You can point your nose to the right if you want. Good. So if your neck is turned to the right, go ahead and neutralize your neck. And then stay on your bolster. That's plenty for you. I'm going to come off my bolster and see if I can bring my chest to the floor. So I deepen my stretch. So this makes the stretch even further. So it's nice when you use the bolster first because it gives you a gentle introduction to it. And then it gives you permission because you adapt to it. So that once you take that bolster out of the way, your chest is on the floor. Good. Slowly come undone. Eee. You were down there for a while, a few minutes. I think about 3 minutes or so we were down there. So you can windshield wipe the legs. And then the next time you shift the knees to the left, you rotate from the lowest point of your belly first. So rotate, rotate, rotate to your maximum. Grab your little bolster and let it kind of help you ease into the stretch. If you want to deepen it a little bit more, you want to get deeper into that back stretch, remove the bolster and bring the chest all the way to the floor now. And slowly unravel your entire little spine and just lie on your back. And taking a few moments now to just soak in all of the movements, all of the pulling and the stretching. So just rest, relax your arms, relax your legs. Relax your jaw. And start to bring the awareness back, moving the toes and the fingers. Scanning your body as you start right from the top of your head. Imagine an amethyst light, nice and bright, right at the crown of your head. And then as you start to inhale and exhale, visualize that light moving down your body. And every time that light touches a new segment of your body, you feel like that area of the body brightens and soothes and gets nourished. And let the light travel down to your torso, your legs. And then when it gets onto your tippy toes, blink your eyes open, bring your knees into the chest, come up to your comfortable seat. And then once you sit up nice and tall, let's bring the palms together, thumbs towards the heart. And feeling your vibration. And then calling what it is that you need from this day as a positive quality. And once you decide what quality you need, attach the words I am in front of that quality. And then as you say your phrase, take a nice deep inhale. So say that phrase silently as you take your nice big breath in. And then go ahead and open your mouth. And as you exhale, exhale all that no longer serves you. And then whenever you get triggered today, inhale whatever positive quality is that you want to breathe in, and exhale out whatever things you don't want to hold on to. Namaste. Namaste. Namaste online.